fellow explorers. We very much look forward to having you on board and to talk through these final preparations before your upcoming trip to Antarctica this season. So we're going to be covering all three ships and going through what you need to pack, a bit about our science and education program, the activities and practical information. Joined with me, as always, my good friends and colleagues, Verena, our chief scientist in Switzerland, and Karen, vice president of expedition development in Norway. And I'm based in a very wet and chilly Wales at the moment. Behind the scenes, helping us out and running everything, we've got Alice, Lasse, Sam, Silke, and Ollie. So we've got a great team behind that will be dealing with any issues that come up and any questions. And also we'll be doing the aim is to do a big wrap up at the end. Thank you everyone for your questions that you sent in. We have been looking at those and we aim to incorporate answering all those questions as we go through as main part of the presentation. But we will have a question and answer session at the end, which Ollie will lead and ask us the questions. We think we are the global leader in Antarctic adventure, and our feedback rating from our guests is fantastic. So we very much look forward for you to get that experience and enjoy us. Antarctica is a really special place. In this call between the three of us presenting, we've got loads of experience, and I think when we first went, if we still said we'd be going back year on year, like 30 plus years later, we'd be pinching ourselves. But it's a fantastic place and just incredible. So we're talking about these three ships: MS Fridtjof Nansen, MS Roald Amundsen, the ships operating from Ushuaia. Our ships will generally have around 420 guests on board. And also MS Fram operating from Punta Arenas, Chile, which are doing the lot longer voyages. We are covering all three. At the end, we will, if you are sailing on MS Fram, we do have a separate webinar that we did earlier in the season specifically about the Fram sailings. So please do, of course, continue listening to this, but there is a QR code later to go in. It's a bit more detailed, just specifically on the Fram sailings, but a lot of stuff in here that's relevant to those. So we're going to get going. The sailing, a lot of apprehension about the famous Drake Passage. Karen, you've been across the Drake a few times. Tell us a little bit about what our guests can expect.
What do we call it? We call it the rite of passage, don't we? Hello, everyone. The Drake Passage is, I would say, an opportunity, first of all, to get to know the ship, get to know your fellow guests, and your expedition team, your hotel team, and so forth. So you have a golden opportunity also to be outside on deck. There is a lot of viewings to be had, and Verena will probably touch by it later on. The bird life, which is exquisite and absolutely a marvel. I feel like coming home actually when I start the Drake Passage, because when you start seeing that the albatrosses soaring around the ship, and the species change as you go, this is an absolute experience. So don't write off the Drake Passage as just something you need to do. It is a real fantastic experience to cross it, and you have the opportunity to do it twice, because you do miss things on the way down that you would have liked to think you have then more experience. So on your way back, you will enjoy it even more. And then the fable question always to Dan and Verena is, of course, how rough is it? From kind of crossing it a couple of hundred times, so like 1 in 10. I would say can be on the rough side of things. But our ships are very well equipped. They have stabilizers, and they are well designed, Norwegian designed ships, so they know how to handle the sea. Saying as a proud Norwegian myself, anyway. But this, if there's a lot we don't know, but that we do know, that the Drake Passage is something to enjoy, something to prepare for what you're going to see further down, but enjoy the passage as well. And it's very safe, and it's even with the sea, as you can see on this picture. This was midnight sol. The crossing is not like the old ships where you were rolling. This is more the pitch, but it's quite comfortable, and the crew will update you as you go on where you can go, if they close the outer decks and so forth. But enjoy it.
Yeah, and I think it's right to say, if you suffer from motion sickness and you feel, it's good to be prepared. It's better to have things. So if you do feel, then wristbands are popular. Patches behind the ears are popular. Ginger tablets, ginger are very, very popular. So if you are concerned and you think you might get seasick, then please do go with appropriate medication or things that you think might work for you. There are seasickness pills on board. We do have a doctor and 2 nurses on the bigger ships, and one nurse and doctor on Fram. So they will be able to help out if and supply pills if needed.
And a question that always comes up in that relation is, when do you start taking those pills, or when do you start taking those remedies? And what we always do tell you is to start as soon as you come on board, before we leave Ushuaia, because they need to be preventive. So for you to start them then is a good time. So around 4 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon on the day of departure.
Yeah, and there'll be.
If you decide to go with the natural way, ginger, start taking it maybe a week before the trip, so that you have a long time to affect. Yeah.
And what Karen's saying there is, when we leave Ushuaia, we have approximately 6 hours before we go into open water, sailing through the beautiful
Beagle.
Okay, so we're heading across the Drake Passage, and this webinar, we're talking about the sailings from now to the end of the season, end of March, early April. Verena, we've passed the summer solstice, so it's getting, we've passed that peak summer. So what can we expect in terms of light and weather?
Yes, so the long days will be getting shorter and shorter from here to the end of the season. Of course, with that also comes changes in the landscape and the available time to do activities off the ship. But it's not a plus or a con. Everything is different. If you have more light, you will have more opportunities to be out on deck, and less opportunities to enjoy a full night's sleep, depending on how much you want to experience this once in a lifetime opportunity. But the closer you get to the end of the season, the most amazing light shows you will get. And if I may say, that is one of Tudor's favorite parts of the season, when you get these amazing pinkish, yellow, orange colors that last for a long time, and you don't have to wait until 1, 2 in the morning like the people joining right now will have to wait. So there is always something magnificent to have, depending on the light conditions.
Absolutely.
And we'll talk about the temperatures a little bit later in the webinar. But yeah, fantastic. The light is just spectacular all the time, and gets better and better. We are now all inclusive, which means that you don't need to dip your hands in your pocket for the day-to-day operations. We give you expedition jacket. We'll talk more about that in detail in a bit. We loan you rubber boots and poles. We have the whole expedition cruise in terms of the landing, Zodiac cruising. Our science and education program, we will talk about that. That's very much at the core of what we do. Our dining and drink options, of course, all included, except for premium if you want something really high end. We have a full professional photographer on board that will be taking pictures and video throughout the trip. These will be put together into a slideshow and a logbook for you at the end of the trip, and you'll receive a link, so you'll get those to enhance your own pictures. And we will be doing a separate webinar on smartphone photography next week. So there's those, and we have other things in our toolkit as well to help you. We are connected to the internet with Starlink, which is pretty good. It's possible to make, say, like WhatsApp calls or messenger calls through the internet back with home, emails, messages. So it is through a satellite system, through Wi-Fi. It's not connected to the telephone system, but certainly main connectivity to the outside world is very good. Our dining options, we do really look at supplying. Sustainability is very much at the core of what we do. A lot of our food is supplied locally in South America for these sailings. So we will have a local flair of food when we're on board. And the food is very good. So the challenge is coming off the ship a similar weight as when you go on it. So in terms of that, you should be able to take one set of clothes that fit you and not an extra set that's bigger. But Verena, for on board, we have a very relaxed feel, but what should people pack for life on board?
Well, as some of you probably know, we do not have a dress code on board. The dress code would be as you feel comfortable, that is what you take with you. We have very comfortable temperatures also on the ship. It's around 20 degrees, 18 to 20 degrees. So you don't need to be wearing your puff jacket inside. T-shirts, shirts, comfortable pants. What you do need to take is shoes with a good sole that is not slippery. If you want to jump quickly out on deck, it may be slippery. So best to have good, comfortable shoes that will allow you to do that as well. Yes, if you want to enjoy the sauna and the hot tubs, then do not forget your swimming suits as well.
Yeah. And Alice, we'll ask you if you could put a screenshot of this in the chat so people can pick it up. But this is also in your travel documents. But then Karen, for off the ship, what's good tips for people to take? What were your top tips?
Top tips, let's start from bottom up. So we start with pants, the pants and socks. Good pair of thick socks. Of course, you will hear one word out of my mouth when it comes to clothing, and that's wool. So if you have woolen socks, that is recommended. If you have other socks you like, just take them, but take a pair of at least one of thick socks, because in the muck boots, or sorry, the boots you will get, they are very well insulated, so you don't need 2 or 3 pairs. You need one good solid thick pair of socks, and you will find them closer to your sneaker size when you try them on with that tip. When you come to pants, now with the kind of activities we have, for example, if you want to go discovery kayaking and also for landings and zodiac cruising, waterproof or well water resistant pants are very recommendable. You don't need to go and buy the most expensive ones. There are fairly good priced waterproof and water resistant pants that will do the trick for this. But that is a very, very important thing. We cannot allow people to go ashore in jeans, for example, because we always could end up having a bit longer time there than we think. The weather can change, and then jeans are very, very cold, and it could give you hypothermia much quicker than you would like to. Moving up, gloves, very important. Hats as well. So pick your favorite gloves and your favorite hat and bring it down. You're going to use it a lot. Sunscreen as well. Reflection from the snow, reflection from the water, very very apt there. So you just bring good gloves and a good pair of hats, and what a lot of people nowadays like, including myself, are buffs, these neck gaiters kind of thing that you put on. Again, I use wool. But there are cotton ones that are also good, but they also take away the cold bridge that happens around your neck.
Yeah, and I think it's good to take a couple of hats and a couple of pair of gloves,
yeah,
in case they do get wet.
Yeah, so then you have one for the morning and one for the afternoon, for example, because you need to then have the opportunity to dry your first pair, and have another one when you are going out later that day.
We've been asked about laundry, and on board we do have laundry service. If you are in one of our suites, then laundry is included. If you're in another in one of the staterooms, then there is laundry, and it's based on a price per item, and puts through the bag and delivered. There's a service. You can do an express service or a next day. So there is laundry on board. There is no self-service laundry on board. Again, we've been asked that. So there is laundry service available, and it is very quick and efficient. We have, reiterating what Karen and Verona says, we have recently produced a little short film, yes. Which is on what to pack. It's great. The QR code is here again. I'll ask Alice to put that in there. We get questions asked about the boots for our landings. Then using our muck type boots, which Karen said are very insulated. We have them in stock European sizes from 32 to 50, which is basically very small to very big. So that covers people's sizes. We do want you to wear those on all landings because for biosecurity. Crampons and walking spikes are not required on these sailings, and we will supply you with walking sticks. So we'll supply everyone with those. And Ollie in the background nicely put a picture of himself with his walking sticks in here. He has to feature in every webinar. That's the rules. And then our expedition jacket that we give to all our guests. Karen, would you like to? Both Karen and I were involved in the design of this, but Karen, talk us a bit through this.
Let's talk through the jacket. Oh yes, Tudor, remember we did a lot of work on this jacket. So what we have tried to do is to make it as environmentally friendly as possible. So you can see it comes from a membrane fabric, 3-layer membrane fabric that is 100% recycled polyester, and has all the certifications it needs to be branded a global recycled standard. So we put a lot to make it good enough. It has a 20,000 millimeter water column, which is on the very, very high end of waterproofness of jackets you can find in the market. And it has also a 10,000 MVP breathability. So it's not like sailor gear which doesn't breathe. This breathes. And we've used a lot to make the carbon emission footprint from the whole production to your place or to your ownership as low as possible. As you can see, 7.12 kilo CO2 on that. So everything from freight to production has been thinking of. You might wonder why there is these reflective stripes on top of it, and that is because there is, if by unluck and knock on wood this doesn't happen, you should be needed to be rescued from any kind of situation. If it's dark, these are reflective stripes. So it's called Solas reflective stripes. So they can be shown at a very low angle, blah, 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 and so forth. I'm not going to start moving into this. Pockets, and there's also on some of the jackets now a pocket on your arm that you can put your card in when you're scanned in and out. We are phasing that in, so there might be that some of the jackets still don't have them. So then you just have your card around your neck and you're being scanned out. So yeah, I think that's it. We like the color, and it's a good jacket.
Yeah, one of the questions is how insulated they are. They are not insulated.
No.
They're like a waterproof jacket. And that is on
Mm.
purpose because we want people to be able to use these jackets afterwards and not just for the expedition.
Exactly.
So again, you'll see in the packing list, taking a under layers that you can put under the jacket is very good. So we give you one of those usually on the first day of the sailing. We also give you in your cabin an insulated water bottle. Verena, tell us a little bit about these.
Well, these bottles are my favorites. They are produced out of recycled plastic that has been fished out from the ocean. We have a collaboration with the Ocean Bottle, and for every bottle that we give out to you, we assure that 1,000 bottles are picked up from the oceans. They are then made of 90% recycled materials. They keep your drinks nice and warm or nice and cold, depending on how you want it. And you will get one. There are filling stations everywhere on the ship, so you can just walk to them and refill your bottle. So yes, it's ocean-free, plastic-free ocean that we are.
Yeah, and as a reminder, as a company, we banned the use of single-use plastic in 2018. So which has been quite hard to do, but all non-essential single-use plastic. The odd bit creeps in whatever we do, but from suppliers. But it's part of our commitment to the environment that we've banned single-use plastic. So this is very much part of that. And then on the packing list, we had in bold binoculars. Again, one of the questions, and any of our expedition teams, what should you take or not forget? Binoculars. Verena.
Yes, and that definitely requires a slide by itself. It is the thing that you should not forget. It allows you to get a better experience when you are, for example, participating in the deck watches that we offer every morning, where our expedition team will help you identify birds flying around or seals and whales and penguins that we manage to see. We are also very often asked about the magnification that would be appropriate for this trip, and our ornithologists highly recommend this combination, either a magnification of 8 times or 10 times, combined with an objective length of 32 to 42 millimeters. If you go higher than that, then your binoculars will be heavier. It will be more difficult to focus or to find your object in your field of view, and it will be also harder to track the animals that you are looking at. So this is what we recommend. Of course, if you already have a pair at home and feel comfortable with them, bring those. If you are planning on buying a new pair, think about this combination for that purpose. But yes, do not leave your house without a pair of binoculars.
Excellent. At the core of all our voyages is the science and education program, very much making sure that the voyage has a sense of purpose and meaning. So we've invested a lot in that, and you will really get into that and our purpose-built science centres. Verena, you're very much your baby, chief scientist. Talk us through.
My baby.
Talk us through what our fellow explorers can expect.
Yes, so the aim of our science and education program is twofold. Mainly is to support the scientific community by offering our ships as platforms of opportunity. So we host researchers on board that will be doing their work, collecting data, samples, and interacting with you guys. But we also put a lot of focus and effort into providing you with multiple learning opportunities, which include not only lectures, but also hands-on activities on our science center, making use of our microscopes, museum-type exhibits, and the input of our experts, expedition staff, but also guest scientists. So the aim is to wake up your curiosity and provide you, allow you to immerse yourself deep into the Antarctic environment and understand everything there is to know about this amazing destination. Not only on board things are happening, we are also offering a lot of opportunities to participate in science from deck during the Zodiac excursions or tenderboat excursions, but also while during the landings. And this you can do by participating in the many citizen science projects that we support. Here you find QR codes that Alice will make available for everybody on the chat. These QR codes are for the applications that we highly recommend you download prior to joining the ship if you want to participate in these citizen science projects. As Tudor mentioned, we do have internet on board, but it may not be strong enough to download the applications when on site. So better do it at home. Also, you get the chance to look at them, familiarize yourself with them so that you are ready to go. Our favorite, if you are a bird lover, is Merlin. That's the one in the middle with the little bird. It really is an amazing application that will give you an overview of the species that you can expect to encounter in Antarctica, in the Southern Ocean, in the during the Drake Passage, but also in South America. It allows you to identify the birds by sound as well. Now, coming to the amazing course that we have developed together with the University of Tasmania. This course is this year divided into 2 tiers based on the feedback that we got from our guests and previous season. The first part is the introduction course that is free of charge for everybody sailing with us. So you probably have received the link to do the course. It's a 2-hour course, more or less, and it is an excellent way to prepare yourself for the trip. If you like that course and if you want to learn more about Antarctica, there is also the comprehensive course that comes with a charge because somebody needs to pay for the production of this incredible course. But it is, we do have a special rating for us. For everybody traveling with HX, the price is 350 euros instead of 500 for the open public. And for our explorers, our loyalty members, the price is 250. It is a 20-plus-hour course that really dives into all the different topics related to Antarctica, and it is UTAS accredited, meaning that you can carry over the credits that you will receive from making this course towards future qualifications within UTAS. So yes, if you want to learn more, there is the QR code there that Alice will also make available for you. And please do take the course. It really makes a difference on terms of being prepared for the trip.
And how long is the introduction course, Verona?
It's 2 hours.
2 hours.
More or less.
2 hours, unless you get lost in a rabbit hole. As many of the
Yes.
We've just been in Antarctica before Christmas on a trip, and many guests were saying how amazing it was and how they got lost in rabbit holes, and brilliant. So yeah, thoroughly recommend doing the introduction course before you go. Then also you mentioned as part of the the science and education program. We'll have scientists on board.
Yes. So this is just an overview of the institutions that we will be hosting for the remainder of the season on the different ships. So we will be supporting projects from our partner, the University of Tasmania. They will be running a project looking at whale abundance on the Southern Ocean, and they will be taking observations from the bridge, but sharing all that information with you. We will also have a project from the University of Sao Paulo, now on Fram, and but later on Amundsen, I think. They were already on Nansen, and they will be collecting soundscapes or sound recordings from underwater and the environment. Norwegian Polar Institute, we have a researcher from this institution not overwintering, but camping in Petermann, doing studies on penguins. And you will probably see them if you get to Petermann before the end of January, beginning of February, when they will leave Petermann Island. Orca and British Antarctic Survey, they are only on Fram doing whale observations around South Georgia mostly. Federation University of Australia, they are doing research on avian flu. Universidad de Córdoba, they are also collecting underwater footage using our drones. California Ocean Alliance, they are studying whales and will be collecting biopsies and drone footage. SOUP is we have automatic monitoring devices working on Nansen, and the teams on board will be very happy to tell you more about this project. So do ask your science coordinator what program is running when you join the ship, if you are interested in learning more about these projects.
And you will get to meet these incredible scientists and be part of the daily program to introduce you to their work and be part of their work. So in terms of what does a typical day look for you on board, the main thing to take note of is that when you join the ship, there you will be split into boat groups with your people you're traveling with, and these boat groups you're assigned to, and then every day or every evening there will be a briefing by the expedition leader and expedition team on the activities for the following day. So there's a lot going on. That is also in the app, in the HX app. So please download that, because that will give the details for you, including the menus in the restaurant, whether it be vegetarian or vegan options or whatever. So the app is a key part of that. But a typical day may look like, obviously food is a part of that, but breakfast. But then if you're doing a optional activity like kayaking in the morning, enjoying a lecture on board with one of our team, followed by in the afternoon doing a landing. We aim to do 2 off-ship activities during the day. So nature landings and Zodiac cruising or small boat cruising, and we will talk about some of those other activities shortly. Also every sort of afternoon and evening, based on the science boat, then we bring in the samples and sort of look at samples that we collected today in the Science Centre, which is incredibly popular. And then of course in the evening, food is part of that, and also enjoying life in the bar. Our ships are very outward facing, so you can very much look at the views, enjoying a non-alcoholic or a mocktail drink or one of our signature cocktails in the bar. So very much part of the day, but very much encourage you to look at the daily briefing. If you can't attend in person, then all our lectures and briefings are recorded on the ship system, and you can watch them from the comfort of your cabin. So very much you can look at those through the trip. We mentioned about boots and biosecurity. Verena, could you talk us a little bit about biosecurity, please?
Yes, of course. So we are very rigorous on how we do our landings, for the simple reason that we can introduce non-native species to the places that we go to. And this is particularly important to avoid now that we have avian flu that has reached Antarctica and the southern islands and the subantarctic islands. So for that purpose, we will invite you to very thoroughly vacuum clean all the clothing that you intend to bring ashore, the outer layer. Of course, the new jacket that you will receive from us does not need to be vacuum cleaned, but if you have your waterproof pants that have velcros on them, please be very attentive to remove every seed and all sand or soil rests from these pants. And the boots, they will be provided by us. They have been disinfected, but every time you go ashore, we will ask you to step into a bath with the Virkon, which will kill every biological species. And when you come back, we will ask you to use these very sophisticated boot cleaners and go again through the bath. So yes, we really need to be attentive between landing sites in order not to bring anything that does not belong there.
Brilliant. And we mentioned the onboard temperature. It's very comfortable, around 20 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 Celsius, 68, 70 Fahrenheit. The temperatures going ashore, then one of the things I think we can all recommend you is, before you go ashore, is spend some time out on deck, whether it be your balcony, if you're in a balcony suite, or just going out on deck. That will really give you an indication of how much you need to wear. This time of year, the temperature can be sort of -5 to 10 degrees Celsius. That's 23 to 50 Fahrenheit. The wind is a big factor, and the snow. So please take a look at that. In terms of activities ashore, or activities, then we have multiple activities. But Karen, can you just talk us quickly through the different things that we can expect?
Yes. The core ones are the landings and the expedition boat cruising, and then we add things on the side. So those two are the main activities that we offer for absolutely everyone. Then we have kayaking, which is optional for those who would like to do that. There is camping for those who would like to do that, optional as well. Polar plunge is for everyone who wants to, but normally it's not everyone. Wildlife spotting is, of course, out on deck a lot, or in the Zodiac cruising. So that is an activity that goes on. Ship cruising and these, what it says here in guided excursions in Antarctica, that means that you do snowshoeing with a smaller group of people, but normally adjacent or at the landing site where you are. So core for you to remember: expedition boat cruising and landings, and then everything is sort of trickled around it.
And as it says on the slide, then these are bookable on board. So when you get on board, if you're interested in doing these, then please do so. Book on board with the expedition coordinator. And then this year, we have introduced more activities. We now have a discovery kayak program on top of the sea kayak program, enabling you to explore on the water on your own. That's improving, incredibly popular. And we've also increased our camping offering with bivvying, so we can now take those. We often get questions, and we've had questions about how do we choose who goes. When you get on board and sign up for those, then we will split you into groups for the kayaking, for the sea kayaking, and we will allocate you to Group A, Group B, and then we will work our way through those groups. And we, conditions dependent, we usually get everybody on board, that everybody on the water that wants to do that. And the camping and bivvying option, we now can take up to 60 people, and we found that we sort of fulfill the majority of people's needs. If we get more than 60 signed up for that, this is on Amundsen and Nansen, then we will pull people's names out of a hat to fulfill those 60. But there's often some horse trading on for people. I really want to go, etc., etc. So we try and fulfill everyone's needs. Again, the polar plunge, Karen already mentioned, we do that 2 ways, either from the beach or from the side of the ship. So yeah, quite a fun thing. And again, we usually get about 40% of guests take part in the polar plunge, so a popular rite of passage. We've had lots of questions on your fitness and tender pit and how do we get in and out of boats. Firstly, safety is of our utmost importance, so we really look at that. The Zodiacs are the workhorse of the expedition industry. Our tender pit, we have this door that folds down from the side of the ship. We have crew there helping you in and out of the boats. And then at the other end, we have people helping you in and out of the boats. So please listen to the crew that are helping you in and out. They will guide you. The main part is being able to sort of listen to them, take their hands, sailor's grip, getting in and out of the boats. So really follow them. Doing any of the activities is at your discretion, so please look at those. You can do as much or as little as you like, but please follow those crew instructions. We've mentioned seasickness. Like all holidays, please bring your own medication. Please bring your medication in your hand luggage, just in case airlines decide to take your bags in a slightly different route than you. So please do make sure you've got your medication covered. As we mentioned, we have got the medical staff on board to assist if needed. You will all have had, because you're joining us, information about the travel insurance and doing the medical. So please make sure that is done, and also the ship manifest information. And then the final documents will be released to you. In terms of travel, those going through Argentina, then again, our trip starts with a night in Buenos Aires. Transfer from the hotel, again, is about 20 to 35 minutes. Our charter flights, we have lots of questions about those. They do aim to leave Buenos Aires at around 7 a.m. That means an early start from Buenos Aires to get down. That is in terms of getting you to Ushuaia. The flight is about 3.5 hours. You will then have some free time in Ushuaia before you board the ship around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So please do pay close attention to your travel documentation. We often get questions about luggage. The luggage limit on the charter flights are defined by the flight charterer. So we do have a limit, same as the international, 23 kilos and hand luggage. So please, based on that, please follow that. We don't find you should need any more than that. We're supplying boots, jackets, water bottles, etc. So please try and keep to that. Similar process if you're flying and joining MS Fram in Chile with Santiago and taking you down to Punta Arenas. Similar timings, etc. But again, please pay attention to your travel documentation. We've got people in the call from all over the world, so please check with your own nationality if a visa is required for entry into entry into Chile or Argentina, and please make sure that your passport is valid for at least 6 months when you leave the ship. So that's please make sure that is your responsibility. For those that are joining MS Fram, then we have done a separate sailing. Got sailings on my mind now. A separate pre-departure webinar specifically for Fram. So again, we'll ask Alice to put this in the chat. Please take a look at that webinar as well. But the important part with that is you are for MS Fram only. There is a requirement for a South Georgia passenger visa. Again, please make sure you apply for that. And again, the details are on your travel documentation and also here. Again, Alice will put this in the chat for you. But again, please make sure you do that, and the details of how to do that or to help you are here. Again, we get questions about our language on board. English is our spoken language, but we do German translations. Our currency on board is euros. In Argentina and Chile and the Falkland Islands, the use of credit cards is incredibly common. You may want to have some US dollar cash as a backup for Argentina and Chile, and even the Falklands. They will accept dollars, but of course, the British pound is the currency in the Falklands. We've mentioned already the weather, the temperature, and Starlink. One important thing for us is the HX Foundation. You will notice when you go into your cabins, there's a green stay, which we will give back funds from green stay, but we support many projects, including some of the science projects that will be on board. So it is a way of giving back. We will also have a onboard auction towards the end of the trip where we will be giving auctioning items like a chart of the trip and some other fun things, where a way of giving back to the foundation and giving back to the places we sail. All the money given to the foundation goes directly in grant aid, and we as a company pay for the administration of the foundation. So a very good way of giving back, as well as doing the incredible UTAS online introduction course. Then of course there are lots of online resources, but also some great books. There's a few here which really could enhance your trip. Some wildlife guides, a history book, and some other history books. So really have a look and dive into these if you want to find some more information. Often we have some availability for upgrading into a bigger cabin. So if you are interested, then please contact our sales team, and we will be able to help you out. Or even when you get on board, there's opportunities to upgrade. We hope we've covered the majority of your questions that you asked. I know there will be more, so we've allowed some time here for Ollie to come in and to answer some of your questions that we may have missed. We've tried to capture all your pre questions. Ollie, over to you. I will stop sharing, and we can bring you in. Over to you, Ollie.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him to unmute. I'm actually wondering if he might have dropped off line for a moment.
Okay. Shall we bring Alice in then?
We can do that. Alice, I'm going to bring you in. You'll unmute and come in and ask some questions for us. We're not getting Alice to unmute either. Okay.
Are we?
Well,
sorry, I think I'm in.
There you are.
Technical difficulties, sorry.
Thank you, Alice.
Hi, sorry. Yes, I'll take over for Ollie. No worries. We've actually had loads of questions, over 150 so far. There's quite a lot to go through. One of the ones some people are asking is, how do you manage to get 400 passengers on land every day when the limit is 100? So just kind of talking about the statistics behind that.
Yeah, you start, Karen. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we do is we have a quite intricate system of groups. So we send them in staggered groups of 100 at a time. We have slot times for up to 8 hours, depending if we take 2 slots or 1 slot. 1 slot is about 5 to 6. And if we do a double slot, we have 8 to 10 hours. And then We have the time to give people about 90 minutes ashore. And you are then maybe morning or early group out one day and a later group the next day, because we rotate them. So we have a good rotation system. Yeah.
Brilliant. And on that note, someone said, how is it possible for every guest to be part of the kayak adventure? And what are the main differences between the two, Discovery Kayak and the sea kayaking?
Do you want?
Go, Karen.
Okay.
That's your realm.
So we have the sea kayaking or the adventure kayaking is in a normal sturdy kayak in where you are sitting inside a cockpit and you paddle with two guides for about an hour and a half, quite a piece away from the vessel and the landing site per se. Then you have the little bit of an easier version, which is the Discovery kayak program, where you sit on a top-facing kayak. It's an inflatable. You paddle within a set parameter, quite close to the landing site, so you kind of see the landing site from a very different perspective, and you have more autonomy in your own tempo than if you are following this group of kayakers that are dead set on from A to B. This means that you can kind of the Discovery kayak means that you can paddle around a little bit like you want. You can stay closer to the landing site, see the penguins from a different angle, and so forth. So it's for those who are absolutely new beginners and have never set their foot in a kayak before, but would like to have a little dip into it. I recommend the Discovery kayaking, and for those who feel they want to challenge themselves a little bit more and want to stay with a group that will have a certain tempo, then go for the adventure kayak. Just a little tip.
Tips and tricks. Perfect. Thanks, Karen. A lot of people have been asked about the wildlife on board as well, specifically in February. I know this webinar will cover a few sailings, but I don't know if Rena wants to go for this one with the wildlife.
Yes, the wildlife. Well, February is an amazing time to be in Antarctica because you have everything: whales, penguins, seabirds. The only big difference is the status of their breeding cycle that you will encounter. So now in the people joining now in January will still get to see chicks. But later in the season, the chicks will fledge and go to the sea. And by March, there will be less penguins to be seen, as they will have to go to sea again to start preparing for the next breeding season. But the whales will be around until the very end of the season. They will have had time to feed frantically to recover from the migration and the breeding season that happens in more temperate waters. So they will be very tame, and it will be a nice whale experience. Orcas can be seen throughout the season, but it is a lot less easy to determine where they will be in the area. So there will be a bit of everything for everybody to see and enjoy.
Brilliant. And since you're the photography expert, someone said, how big of a lens do we need, focal length specifically, for photographing the wildlife? What would be your recommendations?
Well, we did not speak about distances to wildlife. So during landings, the distance to penguins is 5 meters. So you can even with the phone take amazing pictures from birds, from penguins. Of course, if you want to get details from watching a seal like we have on the image there, a closer look from that distance, you will need a zoom. I would say the minimal would be 400 millimeters, but if you get to bring your 600, then you will be in a very sweet spot for for that. If you are more a landscape photographer, then I would recommend you bring a wide angle. A 10 to 24 millimeters would be incredible to capture the immensity of Antarctica as well.
Brilliant, thank you. Someone's asking, is Port Lockroy on any of the stops for Amundsen?
Tudor, you want to take that one?
Yeah, not for Amundsen. We offer a postal service, so we can pick up stamps and postcards from Port Lockroy, but it won't be a stop for Amundsen. The Port Lockroy Island is way too small, so yeah, we don't stop there with Amundsen and Nansen for a landing.
Brilliant. We've got someone asking, can you tell us a little bit more about the polar plunge, temperature, water, and the kind of process of it?
Yeah, depending on whether you do it from the beach or from the landing site of the beach or the ship, then it tends to be a plunge and very short. And it's a case of, if we do it from the beach, then we recommend people to wear their swimwear when they go ashore. And at the end of the landing, then it's a case of going into the sea, directed by the expedition leader. And we also have medical team that tick you off, because of course it's all about getting a certificate that you've done the polar plunge. If it's from the ship, then we have a ladder and a platform, and we attach you with a harness to jump in and then bring you out. So it tends to be a quick process, and we tend to do it once a trip to give everybody the opportunity to do it. The water temperature, depending on how far south you are, usually about 4 or 5 degrees Celsius this time of year.
Brilliant, thanks, Tudor. Sorry, just another one for Karen, because I know it's new. The difference between camping versus bivvying, people are asking.
Yeah, so the camping both is camping, but what we call camping is you have to split the two is if we say camping, it means you're in a tent. If you're bivvying, you are in a bivvy bag. It means that you have sort of your tent as a bag outside the sleeping bag, and you lie under the stars, so to speak. So that's the difference, the main difference. Open air sleeping and in tent sleeping.
Very exciting. Just having a look now, a lot of these are about the ship manifest form that you need to be completed before. I think that should have been sent to you, if I'm not mistaken. If not, please reach out and we can resend it. And some people, and I'm conscious of the time, so I'm just thinking, someone's asked, will any of you guys be on board for any of the seasons so they can meet you?
We were.
We've all been on a trip before Christmas this year, but yeah, no plans at the moment for, I think, any of us to go back this season.
No, come to Norway. Come to Norway on Spitsbergen, and then I will be there.
Perfect. That's the next trip then.
That's the next trip for you all. Yeah.
Okay. I think a lot of them can be answered individually as well. So I think that could be everything for now, if you guys are happy.
Brilliant. Well, we wish you all a fantastic sailing, and apologies if we haven't got around to answering any questions, but there's the resources on the web and also in your pre-voyage documents. But of course, things will become a lot easier when you're on board. But we very much look forward to welcoming you on board the teams. At the end of this, when it's finished, there will be a feedback. So please give us feedback on the webinar so we can improve next time. Maybe we need to do these for an hour and a half, guys. And
yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
But thank you very much. Have an amazing trip.
Incredible trip. Yes.
Yeah. Magic.
Trip of a lifetime.
Have fun.
Yeah. Welcome on board.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.